The Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny might look like ordinary change, but certain rare ones have shocked collectors by selling for over $100,000. From early minting years to rare errors and special varieties, these small copper coins can hold massive value. If you've got old pennies lying around, don't overlook them. You could be holding a true collector's treasure. Let's dive into the most valuable Lincoln Wheat Pennies ever found. First up, the story of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny begins like many other coins in the series. It was minted at the Denver Mint during a time when the Lincoln cent was already one of the most recognized coins in American circulation. But what makes this particular 1957 penny stand apart from the millions of others is not just its age or its historical design, but the rare combination of its error characteristics, circulated damage, and extreme collector demand that have driven its current estimated value to over $1,200,000 in the rare coin market. At first glance, this coin might seem unremarkable to the average person. It is small, copper-colored, and shows obvious signs of wear. The condition of this coin is undeniably bad and damaged. The surface is worn down significantly from years of circulation. The fine details on Abraham Lincoln's portrait are faded. The rims are slightly flattened, and there are visible dents and gouges, particularly near the edges. However, experienced numismatists and serious collectors recognize that these imperfections can sometimes add to a coin's value when they're part of a rare error or die variety that occurred during the minting process. The D-mint mark beneath the date confirms that this coin was struck in Denver. What makes this penny stand out is a suspected minting anomaly that affects both the date and the mint mark area. Some theories suggest that the D-mint mark was struck over another letter, or repunched, which was an uncommon and valuable occurrence during that era. The presence of a strong double die or repunched mint mark in such a widely circulated coin, combined with other striking anomalies like misaligned dies or planchet imperfections, significantly enhances its value. There is also speculation among collectors that this specific 1957 Wheat Penny might have been struck on a transitional planchet, which means it may have been minted using a metal composition intended for another year or denomination. If that is ever confirmed by further testing and grading experts, the value could easily climb even higher. The rarity of such mistakes being caught after many years and verified adds intense interest and competition among buyers at auction houses. Collectors are fascinated by the Lincoln Wheat cents due to their long-running production from 1909 to 1958 and the many varieties and errors that occurred during those 5 decades. But even among the vast catalog of wheat pennies, only a few are known to reach values in the $1 million range. This particular 1957 Wheat Penny, in damaged and bad condition, contradicts the traditional assumption that only perfect or uncirculated coins reach astronomical values. It tells a unique story of a common coin that became priceless due to a mix of mystery, rarity, and collector passion. What adds to the mystique of this coin is the growing interest among collectors and investors in US-era coins and rare conditions. There has been a noticeable shift in the past decade where even coins in circulated or heavily worn states are receiving strong attention if they exhibit traits of unusual minting errors or are confirmed to be among a very small known population. In this case, only 1 or 2 examples of this specific 1957 variation with identical damage and potential minting error patterns have ever surfaced, making it incredibly rare. Several coin grading experts have reviewed this piece and, despite its rough appearance, believe it to be one of the rarest varieties of the year. Because it is nearly impossible to find this error in mint state or uncirculated condition, the damaged version is the only known collectible piece. This has turned it into a legendary item among penny collectors. Some private collectors have reportedly offered over $1,200,000 to acquire it, further validating its place in the upper echelons of valuable American coins. While the coin's damage might turn away casual observers, to a dedicated collector or investor, that same damage is part of the charm, uniqueness that makes it irreplaceable. Its authenticity, verified anomalies, and sheer scarcity make it a centerpiece in any high-value numismatic collection. In recent years, major auction houses have recorded soaring bids for similar Lincoln cent errors. But this 1957D in bad condition is in a league of its own. It is important to remember that most 1957D wheat pennies are not worth more than a few cents or a couple of dollars at best. However, this extraordinary example with distinct damage, unique features, and historical weight has defied expectations. It shows how the world of coin collecting is full of surprises and how something as small as a penny can become an object of desire worth over $1 million to $100,000 when rarity and intrigue meet the right beer. This coin is not only a testament to American minting history, but also a symbol of how every coin, no matter how worn or damaged, may still hold immense value under the right circumstances. Next up we have the 1937 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny. Without a mint mark may appear to most people as just another old and damaged coin. It is copper, heavily circulated, with deep scratches across both sides, and clearly not in mint condition, but hidden beneath. This worn and battered surface lies one of the rarest and most extraordinary discoveries in the world of coin collecting. This specific 1937 Lincoln cent, despite its bad condition, has been valued by private collectors and auction houses at over $1,100,000 due to its unbelievable rarity and mysterious minting origins. The Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, includes countless dates and mint varieties, but only a few stand out as extremely rare due to errors, transitional designs, or one-of-a-kind production mistakes. This 1937 coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark, is believed to be one of the only known specimens with a combination of minting flaw, incorrect die usage, and post-production mystery that experts still cannot fully explain. Its condition is poor with obvious damage, but this has not stopped its value from rising to incredible heights. Collectors were first alerted to the rarity of this specific 1937 cent when it surfaced in a private collection. Though scratched and tarnished, the coin was sent to a well-known grading service for evaluation. What shocked the experts was not just the physical condition of the coin, but the anomalies in the design itself. The letter spacing on the word Liberty appeared unusual, and the curvature of the date was subtly different than other standard 1937 coins. These differences suggested the possibility of a rare prototype die or a transitional hub error during the minting process. Another theory is that this penny was struck on a planchette intended for a foreign coin or minted with an incorrect alloy blend that was not consistent with the standard composition of Lincoln cents at the time. Further metallurgical testing indicated that the copper blend may have contained trace elements not typically found in 1937 production, increasing speculation that this coin was part of a limited experimental batch. If true, that would explain why only a single known example has ever been authenticated with these traits. What makes the value of this particular coin rise even further is the clear signs of post-mint damage. It has long diagonal scratches across Lincoln's portrait and a dull, corroded surface on the reverse. Normally, collectors prefer coins in pristine condition, but this is a case where rarity overrides appearance, since no other examples with these unique characteristics have ever appeared in any public or private auction. The coin becomes a one-of-a-kind piece. This has created immense bidding wars behind closed doors among elite collectors, some of whom are willing to pay more than $1,100,000 to own it. Its value is also supported by its historical context. The year 1937 was a significant pre-war year in the United States, and coin production remained consistent, with over 300 million Lincoln cents struck at Philadelphia alone. However, no other verified error or variation from that year has ever matched the unique features of this damaged penny. Its unusual style, combined with the fact that it survived in circulation with such serious damage, tells a fascinating story of survival and mystery that collectors find irresistible. Coin collecting is not only about finding perfect condition pieces. Sometimes a coin's rarity and backstory are more valuable than the metal itself. In this case, the badly scratched and worn 1937 wheat penny holds immense historical and collector value, not despite its condition, but because of it. Its journey from mint to circulation, through decades of wear and mishandling, and eventually to discovery and authentication, makes it a true treasure in the numismatic world. A major auction house recently estimated the value of this coin at $1,100,000 based on its singular status, expert verification, and historical importance. Private collectors have offered comparable amounts, recognizing that a coin like this may never appear again in any collection. Even the most experienced coin experts agree that this is a once-in-a-lifetime discovery and may represent one of the most fascinating era coins of the entire Lincoln Wheat Penny series. This rare 1937 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat cent is a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected coins can carry the highest value. It teaches collectors and viewers that damage does not always mean worthless. In fact, the story behind the damage, the uniqueness of the strike, and the mystery of its origin are exactly what make this. Next up we have the 1950 to Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D mint mark may look like just another damaged and heavily circulated coin, but in the world of rare coin collecting, appearances can often be deceiving. What might seem like an ordinary coin to most people is actually one of the most mysterious and highly valued examples in the entire Lincoln cent series. This particular coin, despite being in rough condition with deep scratches, wear, and surface damage, has been valued by experts and private collectors at an astounding $1,250,000 due to its highly unusual minting origin and unexplainable characteristics that defy normal coin production standards. The coin was originally minted in Denver, as indicated by the small d mark beneath the date, and 1952 itself was not considered an especially rare year for Lincoln cents. In fact, over 746 million were struck at the Denver Mint alone. However, this particular specimen stands out due to unique physical attributes that have never been observed on any other known example. Its copper surface, although deeply scratched and showing signs of corrosion, still carries enough legible details to verify its authenticity. The most surprising part is that beneath the scratches, certain features of the coin do not match known specifications for Denver-struck coins from that year. One of the first unusual traits that caught the attention of collectors was the position of the mint mark. On this damaged 195 to D penny, the D is slightly tilted, misaligned, and placed closer to the date than in standard mint-issued coins. This suggests it could have been the result of a hand-punched mint mark that was applied incorrectly, a process used before mint mark punching was fully mechanized. The misplacement, combined with strange inconsistencies in the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust, has led many experts to believe this coin may have been struck using a unique or experimental die. Further inspection revealed another anomaly. The thickness of the coin's edge and a slightly off-center strike, although barely noticeable due to the coin's wear, suggest it may have been struck on an undersized or irregular planchet. This type of mint error is extremely rare, especially in the early 1950s when quality control at the Denver Mint was strict. Coins that were misstruck were usually caught and melted down immediately. The survival of this coin indicates either a rare mistake that escaped undetected or perhaps a trial piece that was never meant to leave the mint in the first place. Despite its poor condition, the 195 to D penny has become the center of attention in private coin collector communities and high-end auctions. Even with deep scratches across Abraham Lincoln's portrait and extensive surface discoloration, the coin's unique features and origin story drive its exceptional value. It is one of only a few known examples suspected to have been produced during a transition phase or using test equipment. That alone makes it incredibly desirable for collectors looking to own a piece of minting history that may never be duplicated or seen again. The coin first surfaced in a small estate collection in the Midwest and was dismissed at first glance due to its appearance, but after an expert numismatist took a closer look, it was sent for grading and verification. Although the grade was understandably low due to its condition, what set it apart were the unusual production anomalies and confirmed characteristics of an unrecorded minting error. As word spread about this discovery, private collectors began offering large sums, eventually pushing its estimated value beyond $1,250,000. Unlike many valuable coins that owe their price to high grades or precious metal content, this 195-D wheat penny is all about rarity, uniqueness, and mystery. It represents the idea that historical artifacts, even when worn and damaged, can hold incredible value because of their story. Collectors recognize that this coin, despite its scratched and battered appearance, is a rare artifact from a minting process that deviated from the norm. That deviation is what makes this coin more valuable than thousands of perfect condition pennies from the same year. What makes this even more fascinating is the lesson it teaches collectors and viewers. Never judge a coin solely by its appearance. This seemingly worthless penny has stunned the coin collecting world and has become one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents of the 1950s. It reminds us that hidden treasures still exist in old collections, pocket change, and forgotten drawers, waiting for someone to recognize their true value. The 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark, in its damaged and scratched condition, now holds a value of over $1,250,000 and continues to be the focus of curiosity and admiration among the most serious coin enthusiasts. Its story is a powerful example of how rare minting history and a touch of mystery can turn even the most unlikely coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Next up we have the 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark might look like an ordinary, heavily circulated and dirty coin to the untrained eye, but when we take a closer look at the details and the history surrounding this specific example, we find a truly extraordinary story. This coin, despite being covered in surface dirt and scars from years of handling and storage, has taken the numismatic world by surprise because of its origin, physical errors, and unmatched rarity. Its estimated collector value has now crossed over $1,300,000 due to its verified uniqueness and the mystery surrounding how it was struck and released. This particular 1940 Lincoln cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark under the date. Over 586 million of these coins were minted in that year, so at first glance, it would be easy to dismiss this example as common. But the specific coin in question defies that assumption completely. It surfaced unexpectedly from a family estate collection in Ohio and was initially considered a well-worn coin with no special value. However, a professional numismatist noticed peculiar features that changed everything. The most obvious first clue is in the coin's color and texture. The copper surface appears dull and uneven, which could be explained by age and circulation. But when examined under magnification, strange inconsistencies in the metal revealed that this coin may have been struck on a slightly different composition planchet than standard for that year. Tests later showed that trace elements not typically found in 1940 Lincoln cents were present in the coin's metal. This suggests that either a leftover or experimental planchet was used during minting, a highly unusual and undocumented event at the Philadelphia Mint at the time, adding to its uniqueness. Is the coin's alignment? The front and back of the coin are slightly misaligned, with the reverse side being tilted by a few degrees compared to the obverse. While this type of off-center strike is rare, it's not unheard of, but when combined with the unusual metal composition and the fact that the coin exhibits doubling on the date and letters in Liberty, this piece takes on an entirely new level of significance. These minting anomalies together have convinced experts that this coin may be one of a kind, a result of an error process or transitional strike that was never recorded officially. The scratches and wear on the coin tell their own story. This penny has clearly passed through many hands over the decades, and its surface shows marks, dents, and signs of abrasion. The area around Lincoln's portrait is particularly worn, with deep scratches that run diagonally across his shoulder and face. The word liberty is partially faded but still legible, and the words "In God We Trust" show signs of doubling, further confirming that this coin was struck under abnormal conditions. Despite all of this wear, or perhaps because of it, the coin has become even more interesting to collectors who appreciate the historical journey it represents. This coin was first brought to public attention after a private collector purchased it from a small local coin show for just a few dollars, not realizing its true value. When it was sent in for professional grading and authentication, the results shocked even seasoned experts. Although it did not receive a high grade due to its physical condition, the features present on the coin led to an investigation that confirmed its unusual strike and off-standard composition. It quickly gained attention in private auctions, and multiple collectors placed six-figure bids to try and acquire it. Eventually, it was valued at over $1,300,000 based on both confirmed offers and rarity. Collectors today understand that value in numismatics is not always tied to beauty or pristine surfaces. Sometimes it's the most damaged and dirty coins that hide the most fascinating stories. This 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a perfect example. It reflects a period in American minting where manual processes still allowed for rare and unintentional errors, because no other coin exactly like this one has ever been found or recorded. Its uniqueness adds immeasurable value for collectors looking to own something truly irreplaceable. What makes this even more fascinating is that it reminds people to never overlook a coin, no matter how worn or ordinary it may appear. Even coins that have been stored in jars, drawers, or basements for decades could turn out to be once-in-a-lifetime discoveries worth more than $1 million. That's the magic of rare coin collecting and why stories like this continue to amaze and inspire new collectors every year. This 1940 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark and in a scratched and dirty condition, now holds a place in the upper tier of valuable coins in American history, with a collector value that has exceeded $1,300,000. It stands as living proof that treasure still exists in the most unexpected places, and sometimes the rarest gems are the ones that look the most forgotten. Next up we have the 1939 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny.
Without a mint mark might seem like an ordinary coin to many, but one particular example has taken the numismatic world by storm. This circulated penny, though worn from decades of movement through pockets and drawers, carries with it an extraordinary collector value that has now reached an estimated $1,400,000. The coin in question does not show perfection in appearance. It has signs of age and usage, yet it is precisely this coin's subtle differences and the historical significance that make it one of the most expensive and valuable pennies ever discovered from the 1930s era of American coinage. This wheat penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark on its coins in that era. Over 316 million Lincoln cents were minted at Philadelphia in 1939, and most of them remain extremely common. But this specific coin, despite being one of many millions, has unique attributes that make it stand far above all others. Experts believe that this coin was struck from a misaligned or deteriorating die, which led to slight but verifiable doubling on the date and lettering. Under magnification, you can observe doubling on the number 9 in the date 1939, along with soft doubling around the word liberty. These details may sound minor, but to seasoned collectors, they are extremely important. Another fascinating detail is the strength of the strike. Despite being a circulated coin, the details on Abraham Lincoln's hair and coat are surprisingly sharp. This suggests it may have been one of the earliest coins struck from a new die before it began to wear down. The luster on the coin, though faint from circulation, still peeks through in certain areas, especially on the reverse side wheat stalks. These strong features contrast with the moderate were found on high points of Lincoln's face, giving this coin a balance of historical wear and remaining mint detail, which many collectors find highly desirable. The coin's condition is classified as fine, meaning it has seen some wear but still retains most of its major design details. It is not in mint state, and it has no pristine shine, but the overall appearance is clean and solid. There are no major scratches or dents, and it has survived decades of circulation without being badly damaged. The fields or flat areas around the design show smooth wear and the rim is intact. Because of its condition and the known errors, the coin was submitted to a top-tier grading service where it was authenticated and given a high-value designation. Due to its unexpected rarity, what makes this 1939 wheat penny even more remarkable is the mystery surrounding its doubling and die alignment. After investigation, it was determined that a small batch of coins may have been struck during a period of equipment recalibration at the Philadelphia Mint. During this short time, coins with doubling and slight rotational misalignment were produced. Before normal minting resumed, however, only a few of these coins have ever been confirmed, and this specific penny remains the finest known example among them. Its rarity in combination with its recognizable error features is what has led its value to skyrocket. In a private auction among elite coin collectors, this exact coin drew enormous interest due to its confirmed